Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
We're so happy to be here.
it's a new year.
It is 2022.
New year, new podcast.
New Year, same podcast. We are back for our first episode of 2022. We've got good things going. Christian's plugging the electrolytes into his body with Gatorade right now.
Yeah, it's the only thing we had in our fridge that sounded good, besides a Diet Coke. And I would like to sleep tonight, so I'm not going to have caffeine.
And we have a lot in our fridge.
Yeah.
You just didn't like the variety?
No, but we are on this. It's not really a New Year's resolution. We have stopped drinking caffeine as much as we used to.
Yeah, we drink a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, and so we're trying to cut back.
So maybe this won't be
So this is actually
as peppy.
Yeah, so
be very
it is a new
boring.
podcast because we're morphing into a health and wellness podcast.
Oh, good.
And why caffeine is bad for you and your board games.
Oh my gosh.
No, we want to thank you for tuning in to the Married and Bored podcast. We're still going, and we still are playing games, and we're having fun doing it.
Absolutely.
My name's Christian.
And I'm Angela.
Yeah, we said it at the intro, but just in case those who can't have a very short memory.
You know, if you just have lost your memory in the last minute and a half.
Or if you just found us this year and this is the first time you're listening to us, welcome.
Yes.
That's not a question. That was more like, welcome.
Okay, so do you want to give like a little introduction?
Because we're new?
Yeah.
Because it's a new podcast?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, 3 quick facts about yourself.
Yep. I am 6 foot tall.
That's true.
Is that what you're going for?
Sure.
Okay. Christian, we've been doing this podcast for just over 2 years. Outside of board games, I like reading.
Okay.
I like music, playing and listening to it. You can look to your right, and I have an awesome record player.
Last concert you went to?
Oh, I don't know. No, we talked about it last night. Third Eye Cherry Eye Blind. What is it called?
Well, it was
Eagle Eye-
Jimmy Eat World.
They opened for Third Eye Blind.
Oh, Third Eye Blind was the headliner.
Yeah, and Jimmy Eat World played way better.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so
What was your third fact?
I don't know. Dr. Pepper is the best drink ever.
Wow.
Which is hard because I'm not doing caffeine.
That is hard.
Yeah. So, how about you? What are 3 facts about you?
3 facts about me. I have had my gallbladder removed.
That is a very good one, actually.
Yeah. So unite all people without gallbladders. What else? I wear glasses.
Oh. Which you might not know from some of our Instagram pictures.
Yes, they would be in all of the Instagram pictures.
There's a couple without.
Are you making a joke that I'm not catching on to?
I don't know.
And I used to be a high school math teacher.
That's
How
a good
about
one. And it's a natural transition from high school math teacher with a math degree
Yep.
to podcaster.
Absolutely.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just performing in front of students all day. And so here I am performing. The only difference is I don't really have to like dress up for work here.
Well, you are wearing a ball gown tonight.
That's true. It's glamour night at the Married and Bored podcast.
And I am wearing a tux with a top hat to match the theme of the game we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, because you're more like now 6'5".
That's true with my top hat?
Yeah.
They're like, is his head fill the whole hat above it? The answer is yes, because I have a huge head. That's my 4th fact.
It's not tall huge. It's round huge. What is your hat size?
My hat size, for those in the know, is 8, which you can never find at a store. You have to buy it straight from the manufacturer.
Well, wah, wah.
4th grade Christian had to buy his own baseball helmet because all of the Little League helmets didn't fit. Oh. Yeah. So then enough about us
So sad.
and our facts. We're here to talk about board games.
Yes.
It's been a while, just like the song says.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
That we've talked to you guys, so we have some catching up to do.
So much catch up.
We had the holidays.
Yeah.
We had the New Year's.
Yep.
We had December.
Yep.
Those are all the same thing.
Yeah.
So anyways.
We had Thanksgiving in there for those of you who are in the U.S.
The States. Yeah, so Ange, what's been up since we chatted last? Let's fill everyone in.
Okay, well, I'm going to rewind a little bit. And we got a
puppy. Oh, no.
No, we don't have a puppy.
No.
We got a wonderful gift from our BGG Secret Santa.
Yeah, Board Game Secret Santa came through.
Yes.
Not that they don't. Sometimes they don't. Not to us.
We've never had a bad experience. So this one was, okay, why am I blanking? It was Dune Imperium.
Yep.
And it was Rising Sun,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm. You called Dune Imperium so they ordered from, I think, Miniature Market.
Yeah.
And they were wrapped in gift wrap.
They were beautifully
Which
wrapped.
is a great idea now that someone did that to us. I'm we're doing that next year.
Yeah.
And you called, you're like, Dune Imperium, one of them. It's got to be.
Yeah.
You knew.
And then the other one, Rising Sun, was just a bigger, deeper box.
Yeah.
And so out of the ones we put on our wish list, it was it's got to be Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Unless they went off list, which is also interesting.
Which is okay. Mm-hmm. We're up for that.
Yes.
But it was actually on our list. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then they put a nice note that said something to the effect of, hope these end up on your podcast.
Yeah,
and
that was pretty cool. So those of you who haven't done it before or are interested in it, we love it.
Yes.
You should definitely sign up for the Board Game Geek Secret Santa gift exchange.
When do you think it usually goes up? November?
Yeah, so it's usually the beginning of November, the 10th, I want to say.
Okay.
And then it closes at the end of November. That's when you get your you get your match towards the end of November.
Okay.
And then this year it was different because of all the shipping issues.
They
suggested that you need to ship by December 1st. But usually it's later.
Okay.
And we got our not Santa, but our, what is it called? Our child.
The person we were giving to.
Yeah. What did we sent them some good games too. What did we send?
Yeah, so we sent Wingspan.
Yeah.
Everdell.
Yeah.
And then the crew.
Yeah, I think we threw in the crew last minute.
Yeah. Wingspan and Everdell were on their wish list, and we just threw in the crew because that's a small one, literally to fit into the box.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
a favorite of ours.
A favorite. And we connected with them on Instagram afterwards, and
they're new to the hobby, and they had a lot of great games on their wish list, and it was easy. She made it very easy for us to pick out games. Both Everdell and Wingspan were on the wish list, and we're like, yes, new gamer. These ones are perfect.
Yes. So we hope that you know who you are continuing to enjoy those, and maybe even convince more people in your family to play board games with you, because we know that was something you told us.
True. Hopefully it's worked out.
And then we we didn't really put it under a tree or open it on Christmas or anything, but we bought ourselves a game.
We did. We bought Obsession, the one we're talking about.
Which is what we're going to be talking about.
Yep.
And I'm so glad we bought this for ourselves.
Really?
And you bought all the accoutrements with it.
Yeah, Angela, this game, which we'll get into later, is it worker placement? Kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, worker placement, tile placement,
and you
deck building.
Yeah, you love those types of games, and I was just like, well, we're gonna need everything, right. So I got it all.
Boom.
And I bought myself a game, and I forgot I had it until a few days ago. I was thinking about it, and I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's called Oltrie or Oltrie.
Why don't you spell it?
OLT.
Okay.
R, E with an accent, E with an accent.
Oltrie.
Is that you think?
I don't know.
I don't know. It looked really cool. It's about knights, and the meeples are neat. And I'll talk about that later, I think.
Awesome. And we've played the Obsession. We've played Obsession, obviously. We're going to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that'd be a really good episode.
Episode's over.
Let's talk about something we've never played. And then we have thrown in a couple of gaming groups since we talked last.
Yeah, we got a gaming group of an Unfathomable.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything about Unfathomable?
Not yet.
No, not even a sneak?
I really want to hang on to it. I will say that it was a very different, unique, and fun experience than our normal... Not that our normal gaming group is... Boring, but it was just...
I'm looking at you, Nick.
It was just the most emotion.
There was a lot of emotions. High highs and low lows.
Yes.
I'll just say this about Unfathomable. Angela ended up liking it way more than she ever thought she would.
Yes.
So, and I kind of knew what I was getting into. Never played Battlestar before, and I had a great time. And we're playing it in like 2 more days.
Oh my goodness.
I can't wait. As of this recording. So
can't wait.
We're going to just get our sailor suits on and
go sailing.
Try not to sink a ship.
Absolutely.
What else have we played? We played not Obsession. Well, we played that. We played Unfathomable.
We played some Marvel Champions.
Yep, we fell behind on playing Marvel Champions just with the holidays, so we were getting caught up on.
Well, and here's the deal, guys. We have outgrown our box.
Our storage.
So we got Mad Titan's Shadow, when it released, and we just kind of sat on it because we didn't have first of all, we didn't have the sleeves.
I didn't buy sleeves.
So we were like, well, let's not open the cards till we have sleeves. Then we had sleeves, but nowhere to put the cards. And so you did some rearranging, and we realized there's no way it's going to fit into our current box. So I know you're all probably eye rolling right now, but
these nerds and their superhero cards.
But it just needs to be a certain way for us to enjoy it. And so...
Yeah, that's probably mostly you with organization.
Well, I'm just saying the one about...
I like having it organized, and I agree that it's become too big for the box that it's in.
Yeah.
I just wish there was another option that we could think of or find that's not another artist case.
Yeah.
That just seems like too much.
Right. It's a lot, especially if you want to bring it
it's like,
anywhere.
Oh, what are those 2 briefcases? Oh, they're cards.
Yeah.
Are you an artist? Nope, just playing cards with superheroes on them.
Oh, and we played the Exit Advent Calendar.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even post about this on Instagram, which we should have done a daily thing. And if you haven't checked out our Instagram in a while, definitely do it. We did a top 10 games of 2021.
Yes.
So not top 10 games we played, not released.
Yes.
That's key. But yeah, we did a really cool Exit game.
Advent calendar. So you do like a little puzzle every day for 24 days leading up to Christmas. And that was really fun. Thank you to our friend Jason.
That's right. Thanks.
Who gave that to us.
The kids loved it. They had a really good time.
Really good time. And then we've been playing Clue with the kids.
Our daughter wanted to buy Clue, and so we did. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in forever.
I think both of us were skeptical about their ability to play it. Maybe Christian more than me. But both of us were like, the 6-year-old's not going to get it for sure. But even the 8-year-old, it might be questionable.
Yeah, I don't think I'd played Clue in 30 years, to be honest.
Oh, me neither.
Since I was really little.
And then, man, they're rocking it.
Yeah, they do really well, and they have fun. It's a themed one.
Yes.
We've been watching Bob's Burgers occasionally, and they recognize that as the clue board, and so that kind of helps them be more interested.
All right. Well, what about New Year's? Christian, tell us about...
New Year's. So it is a new year, new podcast, new you. You know how it goes. I professed a New Year's resolution to Angela. I think it was before New Year's, actually. It
was a few days before New Year's.
I had been thinking about this one for a while. Is that how you say it? Professed a New Year's resolution? Proclaimed?
No. Or just...
I resoluted a New Year's resolution.
I resolved?
Well, it's not over.
No, but you're like resolving in your mind to do it.
Yes. So here is my New Year's board game resolution.
Okay.
Besides our 10 by 10 board.
Okay.
Which is different, and you can talk about that. I am not going to purchase a new board game off the shelf of any store or any Amazon online store in 2022. However, I do have two caveats.
Asterisk.
And you approved these.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm just saying. The first thing he does is say this resolution, and then he goes, except for...
I only have two. That's pretty good, and I think you're on board with these.
Okay.
Marvel Champions.
Okay.
We both like that game enough that falling behind on the new stuff would be detrimental,
devastating
to our relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
And then your leader games if they come out with anything.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
And I'm doing great. 16 days into the year.
You are doing fantastic. So it means I'm not getting Brass Birmingham for my birthday.
Well, that's true. Unless you buy it for yourself.
Because...
It's me. I can't do it.
Okay, well, this is a good transition into the fact that we've been getting emails for Gen Con.
Well, I do want
your friend was like...
Yeah. He's like, do you want to go to Gen Con? I was like, well, yeah, I do, but I can't buy anything.
Yeah. You can't buy anything because of your stupid New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and he was like, surely you can make an exception for Gen Con. I was like, yeah, I mean, probably. But we're debating that this year, whether that's a possibility. Never been.
Yeah, we've never
Here
been.
it's fun. I don't know what there is to do besides shop. That's what confuses me. Like,
play?
I guess I'm assuming so. Yeah, because you go to like a Comic-Con, and what I like about it is just the marketplace where you can look at everything that's at Comic-Con, art, toys, figures, whatever. But then beyond that, for Comic-Con, for me, like, I don't want to wait in line and meet, I don't know, Hugh Jackman or something and pay to take.
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, that's who I thought of.
I would wait in line.
I'm sure you would.
Bring a good book, and then the line will be just fine.
And so will the picture. But yeah, so we're debating that, trying to figure out if that's feasible and all that madness with travel.
All that madness. Yes. So you wanted me to talk about the 10 by 10 board?
I do. We did post it on Instagram, correct?
We did.
So
yes.
we have a 10 by 10 resolution as well. Do you want to talk about what game? Maybe not all the games, but why we chose the games we chose? Yes.
So just real quick, a 10 by 10 board is just you resolve to play 10 different games 10 times each. So that's 100 plays. And we have done this well, you've probably done it for the past like 4 or 5 years, but I haven't really put my 2 cents in for like maybe the past 3.
Yeah. When I first got the board, I would just make the list.
Yeah.
And it would be like impossible.
Right.
Like Star Wars Rebellion 10 times. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So we've realized slowly over the years that we need to pick different kinds of games, different, they all have to be games that work at 2 player counts and work well because we might have a game group once a month, but we can't rely on that to be the 10 plays of a game.
Yeah, I really want to play Oath a lot.
Yeah.
But not everybody does.
Right.
So like forcing people to play a game they don't want to play is not something that we're trying to do.
And we need to have games that take a short amount of time as well as ones that are medium or a longer amount of time, because if they're all long, set up, tear down, play length, it's just never going to happen. So we probably need like 1 or 2 that we can play as a family.
Yeah.
Or to have the option to add in our kids.
Yeah, our kids are good at most games we try to teach them.
Yeah.
So we're lucky there.
Okay, so here are the 10.
Well, instead of going through all of them, they can check Instagram for everything.
That's true.
But I'll ask you, which one are you most looking forward to playing 10 times? The most. We have to do them all. You know what I'm trying to say? Like which one? Is there one you want to get better at? Is there one you want to unlock more of?
Well, I'm really looking forward to playing Obsession more.
Yeah.
Both solo and with more than 2.
Yep.
And then I'm also looking forward to Marvel Champions, the Mad Titans Shadow.
Yeah, we haven't started that yet. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun.
And then Dune Imperium.
Oh yeah, you do really like that one.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it.
He's not terrible.
I lost by 5 points last time we played, and that's a lot in that game.
But the first time we played, you didn't lose by that much.
Yeah, but we both didn't know what we were doing, so we were on equal footing.
Well, you'll have to hear, maybe in the future, there'll be a Dune Imperium episode.
I really want to play Fort a lot. I'd like to unlock that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
And figure that one out. And then I would say Everdell is one that we talked about a long time ago on the show. And I feel we felt underwhelmed maybe by the hype around it. And we think there's more there. Yeah. More than we gave it. And maybe it's just more time playing different games when we can come back and be like, oh, yeah, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 that I'm looking forward to most.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a little break, come back, and talk Obsession.
Obsessed.
This episode is sponsored by Showit. Are you stuck in a boring website template? Maybe you don't even know where to start. Experience the true creative freedom with the drag and drop simplicity of a Showit website. Our website, marriedandbored.com, is a Showit website, and we love how simple it is to create. Get started for free at showit.co. You won't be disappointed. Okay, we are back to talk about a game we are obsessed with.
Oh, that joke never gets old.
No, never does. No, you think anyone's used that before?
Never. It's probably brand new.
Okay.
We did it first, right here on this podcast.
You heard it first.
I think before you read the description of the game, we have to get in character a little bit. So sit up straight, and then I'm going to play this, and then you read the description, okay?
Okay. Oh. Obsession is a competitive game for 1 to 4 players.
I say.
Or 1 to 6 with expansion.
That's all I'm going to play of that. So anyways,
do you want me to use my normal voice?
I don't know if we're going to get in trouble if we do that, so.
Oh, yeah, because of
copyrights.
Yeah, copyrights.
Everyone's listening.
Obsession, okay, here it is. It's a competitive game for 1 to 4 players, or 1 to 6 if you get yourself an expansion, that tells the story of a family building its estate and establishing connections in Victorian England. Each player is going to take on the role of a single family that's trying to work its way up the social ladder by hiring servants and inviting prestigious guests, only the prestigious ones.
Well, there are unprestigious guests
That's
in the
true.
game, which is a word.
Planning fruitful activities for your guests, and building your own estate. And then we're going to throw in there some good old-fashioned courtship every few rounds, and the stakes get even higher for each family.
I thought you wrote good old-fashioned counting. And I was like,
No.
well, yep, 1.
Well, you do have to
2,
count in this game at the end.
3.
And then at the end of the game, you have to count
Oh, there
your
it is.
victory
There it is.
points. There you go. And determine who the winner is.
Yeah, this is a game by Kayenta Games, which this is like the second edition or second printing, right?
This is, second printing.
Yeah, we missed the original release, and there's a lot of hype around it. We dove in.
We dove in.
Yep, we're obsessed.
There it is again.
All right. How do you feel about the game? Getting it ready on the table, tearing it down, setting it up.
Okay. Well,
Let's jump.
Like the sandwich method for like criticism in an email, or even just like talking to someone.
No, I mean, I like sandwiches.
Well, so it's like you're supposed to like give something good, then the bad news, then something good again.
So like the middle of the sandwich is the bad news?
Right.
But that's what that's where the sandwich gets its name.
But you're supposed to like...
If it's a
lead
ham
in.
sandwich, the ham is in the middle.
Okay, I didn't create this. I'm just telling you.
I'm just saying, like, peanut butter is the best part of a peanut butter sandwich, not the bread.
So all I'm saying right now...
So do bad, good, bad.
I'm going to start off
Okay.
a little bit rocky here, but just everybody hang in there.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. Okay?
Is this an initiative
No.
tirade?
No.
Okay.
I may or may not have released a swear word into the air.
Released.
But no, this is not.
Okay. Let's hear it. How do you feel?
I feel like it's a pretty lengthy setup and teardown.
Yeah.
And that part is annoying to me.
Okay.
And so there's two boards. There's like a round board and a market board. There's player boards, there's cards, and then there's super tiny cards. And then there's medium tiny cards, and then there's meeples, and there's cardboard chips.
Medium tiny cards.
Well, you know, the tiniest cards we've ever seen.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're Barbie sized.
There's lots to keep track of just physically, so it takes up a lot of physical space on the table.
That's true. It takes up a lot of real estate.
And then there's a lot to keep track of mentally, unless you're playing the game like back to back, over and over and over again. You're going to have to keep looking up, wait, how do we set up each player hand? How do we set up, like, which meeples go in the available purchase board? How do we set up the tiles? You're just going to have to keep refreshing yourself unless you're playing that over and over and over. And then eventually you might memorize it.
Yeah, I think we're getting there with the amount that we've played it to prepare to talk tonight. But I agree. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
And you're the rules lady in our relationship.
I am the rules lady.
And so, like, you're always looking that kind of stuff up, like set up, tear down, not tear down, but like how to set it up and get ready to play.
Mm-hmm. But okay, now, like, a good thing is that I feel like despite what might seem like chaos that we just described, it's very organized.
Oh, it's super organized.
It's not just like a game where you buy and then you go, oh, this is like a throw it in the box type of game.
Yeah. And I think this game is full of high production quality materials.
Yes.
Which I think we'll talk about later and like how immersive it is. Mm-hmm. But like that helps so much.
Yes.
In setup and teardown. That you play as a family in this game. And each family has their own box of like where to do your starting cards, your money if you have money, reference cards, and all of your meeples that you get to start the game.
Yes. And
you can just hand somebody that and be like, this is what you need to start.
Yes.
And we'll give you the rest of the stuff.
Absolutely. So I think that part is wonderful, and which leads into the point that like this isn't a game where setup and teardown would benefit from like an organizer. It's already organized.
Yeah, that's very true. I was thinking about our last episode, which is Ruins of Arnok.
Yeah.
That game was a dump it in the box kind of game as it was when we opened it. And there's so many things that you have to separate and get going that a organizer helps speed that up so much.
Right.
This one, it has organizers. It has those boxes where you keep the family stuff. It has the fancy boxes where you keep the game tiles. But there's still a lot of housekeeping. I don't know if that's the right word that you need to do to start each game.
Yes. So that won't go away with better organization, if there even is such a thing, because it's very, like Christian said, it's really high quality.
Yeah, and I think one reason why it is so confusing to set up, which again we're going to talk about, is that there's so many variants.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, if you're playing this way, you can't use these, and if you play that way, you can't use those. But if you play this way, you put them all in, tip your hat, and you're good to go.
It does come with hats. No.
That would be funny.
That would be funny. So this sounds maybe a little daunting to play, but I would say it's maybe more like accessible. Learning how to play is maybe more like a medium. It's not terribly hard. but
No.
it's not easy.
No, I was overwhelmed based on the rule book in just looking at it. Mm-hmm. There was a lot going on. But once you know the core mechanics of what you can do, it's not that difficult.
Yeah. And I'm not usually someone, I think I'm getting better at it, but I'm usually just like, oh, I'll look in the rule book instead of using a player aid.
Sure.
But this one has terrific player aids.
They are very helpful and almost essential in some stages, for me anyways.
Yeah.
There's a stage called Pass, where you pass your turn and you get cards. I don't know the correct order to do that. And I've played this game 10 times. I have no idea. And I've got my reference card.
Yeah.
So it helps a lot.
Those are really, really good. And each player gets 4 of them front and back. So that's 8 different little...
That's a little intimidating right there with that many reference cards for sure.
It is. And the rule book is pretty thick. But then again, it's going to explain the solo rules. It's going to explain endgame scoring. It's going to explain...
Variants.
Yeah, variations. And it comes with a glossary. I think the glossary is actually what explains the variations. So there is... I think it would be very accessible if you had someone around the table that knew how to play it.
Yeah, that makes sense. As most games.
Yeah. But like you probably are just going to have to dive in and play. I think the actual mechanics are pretty simple. It's like you select a tile, you put a meeple of the tile color on that tile, and you play people from your hand.
You benefit from the rewards.
Yeah.
I think where this game is the hardest to learn is the terminology.
Yeah.
In this game, something that I struggle with is the meeples names. There's like footman, butler, under butler, lady's maid, lady's man, underlady.
Those 2 are new.
No, I don't know. But they're all old Victorian words and jobs that people actually had. Mm-hmm. And I don't someone's one card would say like, your footman gets double the rewards. And I don't know what color meeple the footman is.
Footmen are now trained to act as valets.
Yeah, it's
and Christian's what does that mean?
Yep, sure, they can drive my car. That's where I struggle in some of the terminology. Yeah. And there's others that I can't think of now, but that's the main one for me is terminology towards the meeple title.
Yeah. So
maybe I just need a top hat.
Well,
to really bring myself back to that time. Or we need to watch a lot of Downton Abbey or something.
Maybe all those things. Also, all their names and their colors and meeples are on the reference cards.
No, they are. And I understand. But when it's written out like that, like what you said, footman is now a valet.
Yeah.
That, I'm like, okay, so valet is, I know it's green now
What
after
does that
playing.
mean? Yeah.
But I'd had to look it up probably the first 4 times.
Right. And then I think this game is just easier to play just mechanically than it is to master. It's going to be...
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, as all games are, really. But I think this one is going to take, for me at least, a lot of playthroughs.
Would you say maybe 10 this year?
I would say maybe 10. To feel, I feel like I know what I'm doing. I just want to get better and better.
Yeah, or guarantee that you'll have a good game.
Yeah.
Not well, I think I'm doing good, knowing that you're playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really key.
Well, so we've already talked about the setting of this game. It's Victorian England, 19th century Victorian England. How immersive do you think the experience of this game is?
I feel like because of the production quality and the amount of cards that are in this game, each card is unique, and each card the cards in the game are your characters.
Or guests that you're inviting.
Every card has a picture of an old-timey person on it.
Old-timey.
And a little blurb about them.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I love that. You're not telling an epic tale. You're not telling a Lord of the Rings story.
Right.
But within the game, I think it's immersive because like each tile that you add to your estate is an action.
Yeah.
And some of those actions are like playing croquet or fox hunting.
Yeah.
Or just having tea in the breakfast nook and stuff like that. And so you have to send people from your hand. It's like, oh, who's going to have tea in the estate today? And you pick those 2 cards and then you get the rewards from doing that.
Yeah. I think that part is just it's so cool because you're seeing who you're inviting to these activities. I love the backstories, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they're mean people.
Yeah, or
the large lady I had.
Well, so what's interesting about that is that she required 2 different meeples.
She required assistants to have her come to your estate.
Yes, but more than a normal like gentry would.
And she was a hefty woman.
Yes, based on the
photo.
Chest up picture that we had of her. Yeah.
But it did say, like, her blurb was just like, you don't want to get on her backside, but she's helpful and when needed, may require extra assistance or something like that. So it's like, oh. But the rewards of playing that card were huge.
Yeah. And what was the other one you had a few games ago about? He required, I think it was required 2 meeples because he had like a leg.
Yeah, he lost a leg in the war.
Yeah. Yeah. And, some of the cards give you like a good effect, but also a bad other effect. So maybe they like give you lots of money, but then you'll lose reputation. And the backstory is like...
He's a gambler.
Yeah, they've got like maybe a spicy past or...
A harlot.
Yes.
Can I say that word?
Well, I don't think that's in the game, but
No, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. The art, which is those photos of the people, the actual like family crests. Yeah. Every family has a unique family crest. It all makes you feel like a part of that time.
Yeah. And you're sending servants to assist with these activities. It all makes sense. Like you need your footman to go on the croquet lawn.
Yeah.
And you need a butler.
And if you want to go hound hunting, in the time you would send like 4 gentlemen. So you have to play 4 gentleman cards from your hand. Mm-hmm. While the opposite would be like whist, which I think is a card game from back then.
Yeah, 3 ladies.
3 ladies drinking tea playing whist. Like there's different fun things that you can do.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a storytelling game, like Christian said, but I think it does a pretty good job within its mechanics of telling a good immersive experience of Victorian.
Yeah, and the families that you play all have backstories too. Yep. Which is really cool. Like one of the bonuses you get is an extra family member in one of the families. Mm-hmm. And it's like she's an old aunt that's just still alive and like,
she's hanging around.
And one of the families is more affluent, so you start with more money, and there's just things like that depending on what family you choose that you get a little bonus.
Yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So do you have any fun playing this game, Christian?
I thought I wouldn't.
I know you did.
When I wasn't excited. I'm always excited to buy a new game. Like, I'll say that. Yeah. But I wasn't excited to, like, play this game over and over again. But I like it way more than I thought. Mm-hmm. This is my unfathomable.
Oh, like, because how I thought unfathomable wasn't going to be for me?
It surprised me a lot. And I don't know... I can't put my finger on why yet, mm-hmm. But I have a good time playing it. It's trying to set up. What I like to do is I like to set up big moves towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do. That's like my goal each time. And it's
Yeah.
worked out pretty well for me so far. But yeah, I'm having a good time. How about you?
Yeah, it's been really fun for me. It's not quite what I thought it was going to be like, although I don't know that I had read much about it. We like to be surprised by new games.
Yeah, I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
By the time the game gets here, it's like, oh yeah, here's this card that no one likes online. It's like, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think through my brain as I say this, like, there's no other game we have that's quite like this.
No, I'd agree.
It is worker placement, but it's like unique worker placement, because Christian will admit that things that are true worker placement, he usually struggles at.
Dune Imperium, Ruins of Arnak. Looking at you.
He doesn't always lose them, but they just tend not to be his favorite. But this one, I think you've won the majority of the games we've played.
Yeah.
I might have won one or two. I don't know. But you do well, and I think it's because it's not just worker placement.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's not true worker placement either. It's like solitaire worker placement.
Yeah, it's
in a way. Like what you do, the only thing you can do, Angela, is to affect me is buy something from the market. Mm-hmm. And there is one action to steal one of my meeples.
And I think there are just a handful, if even that, of cards that gossip, so they attack you and your reputation. But, I mean, there's so many cards, the chances that you're going to go through that exact card during the game. So I guess there's, like, very, very limited ways to affect someone else's game.
Yeah, we had a funny incident last night when we played because you tried to steal one of my footmen.
Yes.
Which I know what that is now. I've played it enough. It's the white meatball. You tried to steal one of my footmen. The action is you could either hire new ones to come work for you.
2 new ones.
Or recruit, not steal.
Yeah.
One of mine from my house.
Yes.
And you tried to recruit one of mine, and I got so mad that you undid the action. And that probably won me the game, which I still feel bad about.
No. I mean, listen, it's not like I got nothing out of it.
No, it would have set me back like 3 turns.
Yes.
And I'd have been so mad the rest of the game.
I was just thinking, I wasn't thinking primarily, let's screw you over. I was thinking, what
haven't we done yet?
Yeah, what haven't we done yet? What
Yeah.
haven't we done in this game yet? But then it would have the added bonus of screwing you over. Because what I realized once I moved it physically from your board to mine, before you got silent and angsty, was that was your only footman.
I would have had to, and I don't think, okay, I don't know what the blue guy's called. Who's the blue guy?
Butler.
I don't think my butler was ready to be played as an action my next turn. And so, like, the footman does everything.
Pretty much, except whist.
Right. He does a majority of the outside events. So if you want to go fox hunting or croquet hunting, you need a footman. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have one, you can't do that action. And so that would have just really messed me up for like 2 turns.
Yeah. So I undid it, and I didn't say like, oh, I just won't do anything. I got the 2 new meeples from the supply. So I got something out of it, and I don't think you like won the game on that turn.
No, I don't think I did either, but I don't think I played very well that game. I don't think I would have gotten nearly as many points.
Well, don't get so mad next time.
I've got a random question for you, and it has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Oh, that's a treat for the listener.
No, it's about games, and I was just listening to us talk about footmen and recruiting.
Yeah.
And like, do you ever think about if someone's like outside this conversation listening to us and how crazy we must sound?
Yeah.
Like if you're not in board games and like you hear a conversation and you're just like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. I I'm going to paraphrase it, and I hope she would appreciate this. My best friend said one time, like, I like to listen to your podcast sometimes, like when you and Christian do the banter, but the game stuff, I just skip over. And it's like, oh yeah, because for her, that would probably be like walking into a conversation where she had like no idea.
Yeah. I remember we played Oath a few times when it first came out with our group, and with some guys from work. And so the next 2 days at work, we were talking about it. And I was just like, we were just saying all these terminologies that had to do with only Oath. And I was like, we sound crazy talking about this stuff right now. I just had that moment when we were talking about these specific
footmen and butlers.
Yeah, specific actions to this game. Like, it's just funny to think about someone on the outside, like listening in, you know?
Totally. So I think like overall I have fun, but it's not like, it's more like fun. It's a fun puzzle.
More brain fun.
Yeah. Like not like, oh, we're laughing out loud and having lots of fun together. It's more like, I don't know. We're enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, you sit there and read a book by yourself. I'll sit here, read a book by myself.
I'm digging myself a hole. At this one. No, I do have fun.
And nothing shall come betwixt us.
Except the fair childs.
One thing I do like about this game that makes it more fun is I'm never really sure how many points you have.
Right. Same.
So it's disappointing to find out that you lose, but like you can still go into the end game and being like, I think I got it.
Yeah, I think they did pretty well.
Yeah. Although we used the milestones, which is an option in the game where as soon as you hit this milestone in the game, you get bonus points. So it's kind of like a race to do something to get extra points. I didn't like that as much. It's more like if you played Wingspan and whoever has the most eggs on nests.
The round goal.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but over the full game.
Well, and one thing that makes this game even more fun for me is when I think about, like, it's never really going to go stale. I feel like there's a lot of replayability on this game. Like, I'm just thinking of, now we have all this, whoops.
Did you break something?
I just hurt myself.
Oh my gosh.
My ball gown tripped me up.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Housemaid. We need a new ball gown.
But just the base game, there's so many different variations, tiles, cards. There's just no way you're gonna experience this full game like in one playthrough. You're gonna have to play through.
Not even as many as we've played it.
No, you're
it's
just
crazy.
And then we've added onto that the upstairs downstairs expansion, the Wessex expansion, the useful box. They added in promotional cards.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game.
Yes.
The new meeples don't help my terminology issue.
Yeah, because now we've got cooks, and
little boys, or something.
Boys, little boys,
a useful man, and then there's a lady thing, head maid, a maiden.
That's gonna come to me.
It's the pink one.
I know.
Yeah,
what's it called?
But they all do specific. They all enhance an action you're doing. So it's like, do you want to get more money? We'll add the little boy to it, or
he's not the little boy.
It's baby blue. It's a little boy. But
I think it's the housemaid. No, is the housemaid the big red one?
Yeah, it's like head maid.
The head housemaid is the red one.
Okay, sure.
And then lady's maid. We should argue about this more.
Let's do it. I don't like arguing.
Yeah. So there's just so much going on. In fact, when we tell about the message you got when we bought it all.
Oh yeah, when we bought the game, the publisher Kayenta, I hope I'm saying that right, sent an email saying, "Hey, thanks for buying the game and supporting us. We suggest you just start with the base game and learn how to play that for a few times.
Yes.
And then when you're ready, add in these extra things.
Right.
And hey, if you're listening, we followed the rules.
We did.
We did, and I still don't know the terminology.
Well, because in your head, you're just like, oh, that's the pink one. That's the blue one.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
I don't need to know what it's called.
Yeah.
It's a cook.
Yeah. The cook is.
But you can't have.
What color is the
it's
cook?
orange, and you can't have too many cooks. You can only have one.
Only one cook in the kitchen.
Too many cooks.
So.
Kayenta. There it is. Sorry.
Kayenta?
Kayenta Games.
All right. So that is all of my thoughts on Obsession right now.
Yeah, I don't think I have much more to say other than there are a ton of tiles in the game, and I bet that we haven't seen them all.
I would bet the same thing.
What would you bet?
I would bet my right toe.
Oh, okay. It's intense.
But just the pinky toe.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And some of them are very powerful, which is when they come out on the buyer's market, you're like, oh man, like I could do so much with that. But I do have one thing that I wish there was a way for the market to be more gradual in terms of like the power of the tiles that come out. Because this is kind of random with what gets thrown up there. And so like in the early game, if you have a bunch of high tiles, it kind of slows things down because you can't use them until you get to a higher rep.
Well, they do prevent that with the market can't open with anything.
No, I know, but like once you start buying stuff, it's
Yeah.
it's a free market.
Totally.
So I just wish there was a different way to like ramp that up. But it hasn't been like it's not a huge deal breaker for me.
Right. And truly we haven't there's like so I've played solo, but there's also a solo estate challenge that I've never done. We have not played, I think you can play co-op solo estate challenge.
Sure.
I think that you can play team obsession. So like if you had a group of 4 or 6, you could play teams across the table from each other. There's a tableau. So if it's 2 people, it's tableau duel. And if it's more than 2, it's just called tableau. And that is what they call, in the rule book, they call it obsession chess. It just removes most of the variability and randomness. So there's slight different rules if you want to like maybe have exercise more mastery over it, like chess, instead of having the randomness and variability that comes with the base game. So there's so much.
So many variants, so many tiles, so many meeples when it's all said and done that if you enjoy worker placement, semi-deck building, you're not really purchasing cards. Cards are more random.
It's more like you're like building a pool of...
Yeah, and then you just have to you choose your cards based on what actions you want to do and what rewards you want.
Yeah.
If that sounds like something that you like, try the game.
Yeah.
Or come over and try it.
Or even if you just want to see the tiniest tiny cards.
The tiniest tiny cards. That's right. It does come with the tiniest tiny cards.
You should probably get this game. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about some thoughts that surfaced while we played this game.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's our breakdown of Obsession. We're obsessed.
There it is again. It's a drinking game.
How many times
I
am
hope
I
someone's
gonna say?
taking shots every time we make that joke.
We always like to wrap up the show in the game discussion particularly and just talk about maybe in more detail, like just interesting things that we chatted about after the game or that came up while playing the games we talk about. And this one was, I think we were both surprised at how solitaire-ish the game is.
Yeah.
And we didn't, like we said, we didn't really like do a ton of research beforehand to see exactly what this game would be and the action structure and like how all that works. And there's for me, there's a lot less player interaction than I thought there was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought we'd be battling for like the people to come to our estate. Like maybe like instead of buying events or like expanding the estate with dining rooms and croquet fields, we'd have all those there, and then we'd be battling for the people to come to us.
Yeah. Or maybe like bidding on them or something. I don't know. I just had this idea that we would not literally, but be more at like war with each other.
Yes.
I knew it wasn't a war game.
No, but there's competition on trying to get the best cards.
Yes.
You still are, there still is.
Right.
But it's just random.
Yeah. So how do you feel about games? Because this is not the only one. You know, I think Wingspan kind of falls into this category for me. How do you feel about games that play more solitaire? Like everyone's playing around the same table, but they're really independent of each other.
So Wingspan's fine. I like Wingspan. I think it does it better than others because you can set up like cool combinations.
Yeah.
That's where Wingspan is fun for me, where it's like if I take the egg action, I can actually draw cards by doing the egg action, so then I don't have to do anything in the bottom row.
Right.
Like there's cool things that you can set up there. That's way more interesting. And I'm glad in Wingspan that no one can affect that.
Okay.
Maybe later on they'll have birds poop on your other people's boards or something like that. But at least right now, I like where it is.
Copyright that idea, Christian.
Yeah, come on, Elizabeth. You can take my idea, bird poop. Or like the one that we both vocally don't like is Villainous. That is super solitaire, and it's just boring.
I mean, of course, there are little things you can do in each of these games, like Obsession, Wingspan, Villainous, to technically affect other people, but it's primarily just everyone's playing their own game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Wingspan is probably one of the least invasive because Wingspan and Obsession are probably the same. It's the bird market, and then the build store, whatever it is in Obsession.
Yeah.
Villainous, you can kind of mess people up because every card
there's a fate.
Every deck is specific to that villain you're playing. It's just kind of a boring game. So like that one, terrible. Ignore.
Yeah, so I tend to like games like this. Not exclusively. Like if these were the only type of games we played, it would be boring. But I think that
there's a time and place.
Yeah, but I tend to like them. Well, you'll have to let me know, but I feel like I tend to like them more than you do because I'm not really confrontational in games. That's primarily why I don't love like war games, because if there's a way for me to win without battling, I'll try to do that. Like in Scythe, you can battle in Scythe, but I usually try to avoid battles and just get victory points in other areas.
Yeah, you don't need it to win.
Right. So I don't really like games that rely heavily on war or battling. And so the solitaire type ones I do enjoy. And I feel like I can just concentrate on, I can actually use your turn to concentrate on what my next move is going to be instead of trying to figure out what you're doing and if that's going to mess me up.
Yeah, that's why I like games like this better than like a standard worker placement. Because I'm thinking of like Everdell. Like if I need rocks and you put your little nugget on rocks before I can get there, then that messes my turn up.
Right.
And I might not have anything else in my hand that I can do. And so that's where I get more frustrated and discouraged with classic worker placement.
Yeah.
Like Dune so far has been good because it has the cards. It's a lot more card heavy, which I enjoy, than the worker placement. I'm terrible at the worker placement part. Okay with the cards.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like you like this one more than... Do you like this one more than Wingspan?
Right now, sure.
Okay.
I've played a lot of Wingspan.
That's true. So this one has like a novelty.
Yeah, if it was just like, do I want to play Obsession or Wingspan? I wouldn't want to play Wingspan. Just you and I.
Yeah.
We've done that a lot. But Wingspan is probably an easier entry area to games. Mm-hmm. So playing that with new people or just a group of people that's what I would choose there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know if you have any thoughts.
Do you think this would be more, not boring, but slower with more people? Like you say you use my turn to figure out what to do. Mm-hmm. But if you had to wait for like one or two more people, would the game get long for you?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe. I mean, of course, it depends on the person.
Yes, it would. I mean, obviously, literally, it gets longer.
Yes.
But would you be like, all right, come on, hurry up, let's go? Or is there enough? I guess it depends on who it is, right?
Yeah, I feel like in general, it would literally be like a longer playtime, but it wouldn't feel too terrible.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I play solo and I like that goes a little quicker.
Yeah, you did that a couple of times today. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So yeah, I feel like player interaction is definitely missing from this game. But like I said, I enjoy that every now and then.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm going to have a game night, I want player interaction. I want big drama, like our not Obsession, like our Unfathomable Nights, or like Ankh battles, stuff like that. That's what I love. That's why I love game nights. But there is a time and place for games like this where it's more in your head,
right? As
opposed to like on the table,
right? Or sometimes you just don't want to talk to anyone.
Then don't invite them over.
Well, but what if you live with them?
Oh, what are you saying?
What?
We'll be right back. All right, Ange. Well, my Gatorade's gone.
Oh, we better wrap this up then.
I'm losing liquids fast.
He is losing those electrolytes.
Well, I think I said it already, but we appreciate you guys listening to our Obsession chat.
Yes.
We hope if you've played the game, you agree with us. And if you don't agree with us, yeah,
let us know.
Oh.
Hey, listen, somebody wrote us a very, well, it was lengthy, but I was going to say like very well thought out email after Lost Ruins of Arnak episode. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking and it made me want to like play the game again in a different way. And we didn't hate Lost Ruins of Arnak, but it made me like...
We just had one opinion,
yeah,
both of us, and then the guy presented an argument for the other.
And I like that.
Yeah, it's great.
So please, don't yell at us, but yeah, we like different opinions.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes things spicy.
Ooh, speaking of spicy, we like to talk about what's been going on outside of board games. We kind of hit on a lot of it at the beginning of the show. Most of that was board game related.
That was board game, yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to say. So outside of board games, Angela, what's churning your cheese?
Well, I'm dairy free.
Is that
so I should have listed that in my 3 facts about myself.
That's true.
So there's no cheese. Okay. Right now, what's bringing me joy outside of board games?
Yeah, I'm looking at your notes and I'm laughing already.
Is the Phoenix Suns basketball team.
Yeah.
We live in Arizona and I am just a big fan of the Phoenix Suns basketball.
Here's another fact. You used to coach high school basketball.
I did.
Yeah.
I played high school basketball and then I coached high school basketball. So yes, I really enjoy. I mean, so much so that I'm like, should we spend this money on like a car payment?
Yeah.
Or a car down payment? Or should we go to a basketball game?
Yeah, do we need a new dining room table or a new board game table or 2 tickets to the Suns game? They're so expensive, guys, and we want to go so bad. But I have to say I'm enjoying that too, and it helps that they're good. Yeah. Like for so long, they were terrible.
Right.
And when I was a kid growing up here, they were good. And like that, those are my memories of the Suns growing up in like the early 90s. Mm-hmm. They were awesome. And now they're fun to watch again.
Yes. So our kids are dragged through that experience. Well, they don't hate it, but they don't pay attention.
I think they're starting to like it more.
Yeah.
Because they're getting familiar with who the players are, the rules of basketball.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. Like our son likes it a lot.
Now, what kind of spectator do you think I am? Well, how would you describe it to the
Well, at home,
listeners?
you're very vocal. But if we were at a game, I don't think you'd be as vocal, but you would still make a lot of noise.
I do a lot of body movements at home.
Yeah, legs raised, like, yeah, let's go. Stuff like that to the TV. Nice pass.
Yep.
Where's the foul? Where's the call?
Ooh, that's money.
All right, Chris Paul, I see you. Heard that a couple times.
I do get involved. So I would probably be better behaved at a game where I need to present myself with other people in public.
Well, I mean, you can scream as loud as you want there, and everyone else is doing it too.
Yeah, but I can't like lift my leg high in the air.
There's not enough room in those seats.
No.
Trust me.
But that's pretty much been my big source of joy recently. What about you, Christian?
Yeah, Phoenix Suns basketball is always fun. I've been watching Boba Fett on Disney Plus.
So have I.
Yes, that's true. We have been watching Boba Fett.
We watch it separately, though, because it's like solitaire.
Yeah, we each get an iPad with headphones in it, sit on the same couch, and watch it, and then discuss after. I am slightly disappointed in it so far.
Oh, so not bringing you so much
Well,
joy.
it's Star Wars, so my Star Wars joy is always at like an 8.
Okay.
No matter what.
If it's Star Wars, it's Star Wars.
Yep, Macaroni and Cheese, Rogue One, Empire
Sure.
Strikes, even Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Number 8.
Okay.
So that's my baseline.
Okay.
Oh, hit my microphone. Sorry.
He is so excited right now.
But yeah, I'm not saying it's going below 8. It's
Okay.
just when I compare it to the last season of Mandalorian or even the other season, the first season of Mandalorian, I was more interested. Maybe Boba Fett's cool. Mm-hmm. I know him, and so maybe that's why I'm not as interested.
Maybe.
But I like where it's going, and I think I will get. I think this is like a slow burn show.
This is
It's going
slow burn.
It's going slow, and then at the end there'll be fireworks.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, fireworks.
So yeah, there's Boba Fett. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. And I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary at my current job.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So it's a small company here in Gilbert, Arizona. When I started, there was, I want to say 11 employees.
Sounds right.
Sounds right. We went from 11 down to like 6 for a while, and now we're at like 40. So
it's pretty incredible.
It's been a wild ride. I've enjoyed that. So they're actually the sponsor of the podcast, so you can listen to the ad there and learn more about that. But I'm having a good time working there, learning lots, and playing games with friends at work.
Yes, we recruit a lot of our game group from your work.
Not reluctantly, too. They volunteer.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, guys. We hope that you're having joy outside of board games and inside of board games.
That's right. Angela, how can our friends contact us or get a hold of us?
Okay. You could stalk us.
No.
Oh. Okay. So the real ways to get a hold of us.
The real way.
The ways that we like and prefer. Is at Married and Bored on Instagram.
Yep.
We, love comments and interacting through comments. We like direct messages, interacting through there. Also, you can email us, hello@marriedandbored.com, which is probably the better medium if you're going to try to change our minds about something on an episode. And then you can also go to Twitter. And, what's our Twitter handle again, Christian?
It's at Married Board.
At Married Board.
Yeah.
What's our Twitter follower at right now?
Yes.
Following. I think it was at 13 before, so I'm going to go with 14.
29.
Whoa!
Yeah. We're exponentially rising.
This is amazing.
I'm trying my best. I'm not a good Twitterer.
Twitter?
There's so much board game Twitter out there that it's just hard to get in.
It's hard.
So, yeah. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the email that Angela mentioned before. Let us know if you've played Obsession. Are you obsessed with it? And if you haven't, just tell us a game you're obsessed with.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of you guys got games over the holidays. We'd love to hear from you. Anything else you want to say?
Ta-ta for now.
Oh, TTFN. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Married and Bored podcast. And guess what? We have a website where you can listen to podcast episodes and so much more. Find us at marriedandbored.com, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com, or follow us on Instagram at marriedandbored. Music in this episode is by Joseph McDade. See you next time. That's the sound of freshness and new beginnings.